How's it going, everybody? So based on the reception and comments I got in the last video, kind of looks like the overwhelming majority of you do want to see more of this. So yeah, welcome back. Now if you did check the previous video a couple of days after it was uploaded, you may have thought otherwise. You may have thought of the perception otherwise based on the dislike to like ratio. And don't let that fool you, because it turns out I guess somebody felt the need to dislike bot my video for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't like the said decision I made, or maybe it was something else, but just in case maybe you thought maybe half the people watching hated the decision or something like that. But no, that was not the case. With that said, odds are this video may get dislike bombed too, so just make sure not to jump to conclusions based on the dislike to like ratio, because it's probably not going to be very accurate. I mean, just take one look at the comments in the previous video and probably would have noticed something was up. Not that I really care about the ratio too much. I mean, likes and dislikes don't really mean too much to me at this point anymore, even though it sounds like I kind of care because I'm talking about it right now, but the main thing is I just don't want people to get the wrong points. So yeah, that's probably as much as I'm going to say about that last video. So yeah, I guess now is probably the time to start jumping over to game commentary, something I haven't done in over 4 years. So be warned, this commentary may not be the most spectacular in the world, but again, still gotta practice all that, you know, streaming and stuff. That's really the only way to get better, just by keep doing it over and over. I know I got a couple of comments in that video saying maybe I should hold off on switching in videos for the moment and just try to practice commentary in my streams, but that's kind of not exactly the same thing. I think it's probably good if I get some practice in right here and now, even though it may be a little shaky. I mean, if there is a bad part in this commentary, I will probably edit it out so that you probably won't see it. I guess you could say I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so if I don't feel the commentary is good enough, I'll probably just keep doing it over and over until I get it right. So enough of that, let's get into gameplay now. So what are we doing for this video? So as you can tell by the title, we are using the engineer, not just the engineer itself, but the balloon traps, that is. So in this first game, we kind of already missed the first 18 rounds or so, but that's no biggie. Not too much happened. All the excitement will happen soon, and I promise you that because this is a post-commentary, so I kind of do know how this game plays out, although this was taken from a stream a couple weeks ago, so I don't remember every exact detail, but regardless, so we're setting a BFB because it's round 20, and Bloons Slayer 1 over there only has 120 farm, so why not send a BFB? He sends us a Moab, and we take care of it pretty easily, but he is going to fall to our BFB rush. Most likely because he didn't have enough money, and partially because of his tower choice. That 0-0 Super Monkey there was kind of a weird combination. I definitely don't recommend it without the aid of a village or farm. You gotta get those two other towers with the Super Monkey, man. I'm telling ya. Anyways, on to our next game with Nate the Snake. And we're just using a random loadout of Engineer Cobra Farm, but we got a little bit lucky with our fourth, and we got the Wizard, which is what we're going to be starting off with. Although in hindsight, I probably should have went with the Engineer first, because those Space Blues, 1-1 Wizard isn't going to cut it. Especially once round 4 hits. See, I'm getting a Cobra right there to defend the pinks, which is actually doing not too bad, but soon I'm going to have to get up a Lightning Wizard, and yeah, I get it up right now. But meanwhile, Nate is, he's hanging in there with just that 0-1 boat, which is pretty good. There's no point really sending pinks against it, but there is a point in sending blacks, which the 0-1 boat can't defend, but Nate is being really greedy, getting 2-0 banana farms up before even getting up that second boat. Kind of let him get away with a lot of greed there, but that's what boats do. Super cheap cost, even despite the $50 nerf in the 4.8 patch. I don't quite remember at this point, but it was a couple months ago where it got nerfed, but it wasn't too big a deal, only $50. Still probably one of the best early game towers, so that's why he has the farm lead on me right now, as well as the life advantage, because I too got a little greedy earlier, trying to get farms instead of defense, and then Nate kind of capitalized with a Yellow Rush, which brought me down to single digit lives. So now we gotta be really careful. And I mean really careful because any little bit of damage can kill us. But yeah, since we got that engineer in our random loadout, we're going to be using it, although it's definitely not the best in this situation because, you know, if you know anything about the balloon trap, it gives you money the more balloons enter the trap, but it's probably not going to be used very much in this game because, as you see, Nate is going farms, and farms means he's probably not going to be sending group balloons. So that balloon trap is just going to be chilling there until Nate starts sending stuff, or if the AI balloons start coming around that path, but there aren't really many AI balloons. Most of the AI balloons are being killed by the wizards at the front of the track, so that's which kind of sucks, but what can you do? Anyways, we just missed a shit ton of stuff that just went on in the game while we were talking about the engineer. Maybe this footage is going by a little too fast, because generally I'm used to speeding up the footage 2 to 3 times. But I'm not too sure if that works very well for, you know, live post-commentary. Because there's really only so many things you can say while the main action is going on. So maybe I should probably slow down the most important parts. Such as right now, as I die to these 2 camo whites. Unlucky is all I have to say. Forgetting the camo detection on your towers always comes back to bite you every once in a while. I mean, we only had the engineer there for the engineer cleansing foam for the camo balloons, but was only able to pick up a couple of those whites, and then the rest just went through. So yeah, that's also kind of why it's important to keep a good amount of lives intact, because all I needed was 22, and we would have survived that, and still had a chance to win, but yeah, that happened. Anyways, on to our next game. This time we got a much longer map in Rally, so Engineer is going to be pretty useful, because most people probably won't be using farms on Rally. It's called Racetrack in mobile, but we're going to stick to the Flash names, because that name probably seems more fitting. Yeah, this loadout I actually picked out myself. So we got Village, Dartling Gun, and Engineer. Definitely not the best eco strategy, but just experimenting with random stuff that might work. Theoretically, it does look like this 3-tower loadout could work pretty well, because I think most of you should know by now the Dartling plus Monkey Fort glitch, where if you get the Hydro Rocket Pods upgrade plus a Monkey Fort, you can get double the explosions. So you don't have to pay an extra of like $7,000 to get 2 Hydro Rocket Pods. You can just get 1 and it'll do the power of 2. That coupled with the balloon trap means you can get pretty mad eco really fast, especially if your opponent is going eco like Damaged Goods is doing right now. Right now it looks like he's just chilling with those airburst darts of his. He's probably going to get a nuclear sub up soon, but instead he's going to get a sniper for leads. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, and now he's getting the reactor up, just as I expected, so we can't really do anything to him. But now we're collecting that mad eco from our balloon trap. You see, this is why Engineer is so strong versus eco. Because by him sending eco, it also gives me extra money from balloon trap, which I can use to increase that eco lead versus him. So right now I've got 1050 eco. He probably has less than that, especially with all that defense he's invested into. Looks like now he's got sub, ice, and sniper. Pretty interesting. Quite a peculiar combination, I have to say. I'm guessing sniper is his 4th tower. So we don't know what his 3rd tower is, so it's actually not too bad. But I'm not sure if he can defend as late as we can, because while the main focus of the engineer is the balloon trap, we could also use the overclock come late game. So I think some of you may have seen some special strategies with engineer plus heli pilot. So if you overclock the heli pilot with the 04 engineer upgrade and couple that with the call to arms village, you can get 4 times the damage in one, which is pretty damn OP to say the least. I'm kind of thinking the same could possibly work for the engineer plus the Dartling gun, so that would be the bads. This is the 04, the 4th tier upgrade on the right side for the Dartling gun, which shoots out 3 rockets per shot, but make that 6 under the Monkey Fort. And imagine that shooting at twice the speed with the overclock. I imagine it do some pretty good damage. So I'm kind of hoping this game, this guy rushes me, just so I can see if he can defend, but I already know how this game plays out. So, and let me just tell you, we didn't quite get what we're looking for, but anyways, I don't want to spoil anything more. So let's move on. Right now we're just continuing to eco. We got well over 3,000 by round 23, which is pretty insane, but that's kind of normal for a map as long as this. You know, that's kind of why you don't see this in BFB Coliseum Plus, because every game is going to go late game, especially when you have two competent enough players. It doesn't really take very much skill to really survive till that late. You can really get away with a lot of greed on this map anyways. Looks like now we're starting to send that ZOMG at us, and instead of him defending, Damaged Goods over here is selling all his stuff to go up for this all-out fast cooldown BFB rush. So now we have a chance to see how this interaction works with the village and the Dartling gun. I don't think I have enough to afford a lot of Dartlings at the moment, so that's why I'm just spamming Hydro Rocket Pods. But before it can get to the meat of the action, the most anticlimactic ending happens with Damage Goods over there dying to the AI Bloons. Of course, happens to everybody. I get that, but kind of robbed us of what could have been. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed these games. Hopefully you didn't mind the commentary as well. If you feel like it, feel free to leave a comment down below rating my commentary on a scale of 0 to 1 out of 10. Because I want to see what you guys think. Obviously we still have a ways to go until we get to a comfortable level, but for now this is where we're at. So yeah, feel free to leave some feedback if you want. That's just going to do it for me again. Make sure to subscribe and follow on Twitch if you want to catch some of these games live, because at this point I think I'm just going to ride the wave of stream highlights with post commentary on it. It's really no different than playing in arenas. Plus I can cherry pick the games, so I can pick the games that I find interesting and whatnot. Get rid of all the dumb round 13 death games, because most of those aren't very interesting. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.